Sports movies and horror films seem like complete opposites. But what happens when you combine an NFL legend's dark secrets with psychological terror? Today's film, Him, attempts to answer that question, though the results are more frightening than anyone intended.
That's such an interesting genre mashup to attempt. When I heard Marlon Wayans was cast as this sinister former quarterback, I was genuinely intrigued by how they'd pull it off.
Well, on paper, it's a compelling premise. You've got this young football prospect, Cade, getting the opportunity of a lifetime to train with 8-time champion Isaiah White. Think of it like Tom Brady offering to mentor a rookie, except this mentorship comes with a side of psychological torture and mysterious blood injections.
The isolation aspect really stands out to me. Setting it in this remote compound where White lives with his influencer wife. It's reminiscent of how real athletes often live in these privilege bubbles, cut off from normal society.
You know what's fascinating? In real sports, we've seen athletes go to incredible extremes, hyperbaric chambers, experimental treatments, bizarre dietary restrictions. The reality is often stranger than fiction, which makes the movie's supernatural elements feel almost unnecessary.
That's actually a really good point about reality versus fiction. They could have drawn from actual sports scandals and still achieved their horror elements.
Let's talk about Marlon Wayans for a moment, because his casting is genuinely inspired. He brings this unexpected intensity that makes you believe he could be this legendary quarterback hiding dark secrets. It's similar to how Jordan Peele successfully transitioned from comedy to horror, though Wayans is doing it as an actor rather than a director.
The casting of Tyrek Withers as Cam really works too. You can feel his transformation from starstruck rookie to terrified prisoner. But then they made some interesting choices with the supporting cast.
Oh man, like casting Jim Jeffries, an Australian comedian known for brash stand-up, as a serious sports medicine doctor. It's like they're making two different movies simultaneously. And Julia Fox, as Isaiah's wife, feels completely disconnected from the story they're trying to tell.
So, what do you think they were actually trying to say about sports culture with this film?
Well, there are these fascinating threads about fan culture and how we turn athletes into modern-day gods. Think about real sports fans who send death threats after missed plays or burn jerseys after trades. That's genuine horror right there. The way we dehumanize these athletes while simultaneously worshiping them.
The training sequences really hammer that home too. The way they show these brutal practice sessions where free agents end up bloodied and beaten, it reflects something real about how we treat athletes as disposable.
Exactly. In professional sports, we regularly see players pushed past their physical limits, playing through injuries, taking whatever substances they can legally get their hands on. The movie takes this to an extreme, but the foundation of that horror is absolutely rooted in reality.
That's what makes this such a frustrating viewing experience. All the elements for a genuine sports horror story were right there. The pressure, the isolation, the physical toll, the psychological manipulation.
You know what might have made this work better? If they had taken a more subtle approach, really building the tension through the realistic aspects before introducing any supernatural elements. Show us how these athletes are isolated from their support systems, pushed to compromise their values bit by bit, transformed by the pressure and expectations.
That kind of gradual build would have made any horror elements feel more earned, more organic to the story they were trying to tell.
In the end, Him serves as a cautionary tale about both the dark side of sports and the challenges of genre blending in filmmaking. Sometimes the most effective horror comes from holding up a mirror to reality rather than trying to create something supernatural. The real tragedy isn't just that this movie fails to deliver on its premise, it's that it missed an opportunity to say something meaningful about the very real horrors that exist in professional sports.
That's really the perfect way to sum it up. Sometimes the scariest stories are the ones we already know. They just need to be told the right way. Score-wise, we can only give this one a 3 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.